What is one of the most important jobs of a parent? To protect their children, right? How is a parent protecting their child if they refuse to vaccinate them? I believe all children should be vaccinated against diseases if they can. Today I'm going to talk to you about different vaccines that are available, the myth about vaccines causing autism, and why children should be vaccinated. First, I'm going to talk to you about the different vaccines that are available and how they work. Today, there are 16 different vaccines that children should receive from birth to the age of 11. Some of these vaccines can protect against diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, polio, rotavirus, Haemophilus influenza type B, hepatitis A and B, pneumococcal, varicella, measles, mumps, rubella, meningitis, human papilloma virus, and the seasonal flu. Some of these diseases can be minor, like varicella. Varicella is also known as chickenpox. Chickenpox is not usually deadly, but it can often be very painful and uncomfortable for children. Some of these diseases, like hepatitis, are incurable, and after they are contracted, the disease will never go away and it will damage the body throughout time. Most diseases I mentioned can be fatal, especially to infants and toddlers. So your body becomes immune to a disease by developing antibodies. Antibodies are cells that destroy antigens, and antigens are the germs. A child becomes immunized against a disease by being injected with a small amount of a weakened or killed antigen. The antigen is not strong enough to affect the body, but the body recognizes it and develops antibodies to fight it. Then, if at some point the child is exposed to that disease, they already have the antibodies built to fight that disease before it infects the body. So now that I have told you about the available vaccines and how they work, I will now clear up some vaccine myths. The most common reason why parents refuse to vaccinate their children is because they believe vaccines are linked to the cause of autism. The reason this is believed is because vaccines used to contain a mercury-based preservative called thimerosal. In 2001, parents became very nervous about vaccinating their children because of this. So the CDC and the FDA ordered that thimerosal be removed from all pediatric vaccines and to also conduct studies. Currently, there is no thimerosal in any pediatric vaccines. If a parent does have any questions about it, all they have to do is ask their pediatrician. The CDC conducted a study that involved 1,008 children to see if thimerosal did have an effect on the cause of autism. After the study was completed, it was conducted that thimerosal did not increase the risk of autism, and the most common side effect from vaccines were sight soreness, redness, and low-grade fever for 24 to 48 hours. So now that I've cleared up the most common myth about vaccines, I'm now going to tell you why children should be vaccinated. Children should be vaccinated to protect their health. Even though the U.S. has decreased or even eliminated some of these diseases, they still do exist. If your child is not vaccinated and they are exposed to a certain disease, then they're going to develop the disease. In many cases, infants' bodies are not strong enough to fight the disease, and death often occurs. If we all stopped vaccinating against measles, the World Health Organization predicts that 2.7 million people would die per year from the measles. Another important benefit of vaccinating is to ultimately eliminate diseases. If everyone in the world was vaccinated against a certain contagious disease, then we could eliminate that disease and there would be no need to even vaccinate against it. According to the CDC, the number of polio cases worldwide in 1988 were more than 350,000 cases in 125 different countries. In 2006, there were only 2,000 cases in only 17 countries. Vaccinating your children will most importantly save their life or save them from pain and suffering, but will also save money. It is much cheaper and easier for a child to receive a shot rather than go through hospitalizations, medications, surgeries, many different outcomes that could occur if they were to contract a disease. So as I've told you, vaccines are available, they're safe, and children really should be immunized. So many people are so worried about the possible side effects of vaccines that they don't even realize the importance of vaccinating their children. Think about it. One little poke and a quick cry can save your child from a lifetime of pain and suffering, and it can even save your child's life. It's not a conspiracy. There's never been any proof of vaccines causing autism. Don't we teach children to look both ways before crossing a street so they don't get hit by a car, become injured, permanently disabled, or even die? Well, vaccinating our children is the same concept.